All right, we are back here at the 51st annual Big New England Football Clinic, and I'm now joined by Tufts head football coach Jay Civetti. Coach Civetti, good to see you, my friend.
Great being here.
And I was joking that once upon a time we were both big guys. Now I'm still a big guy. I just turned 50. You're running the Boston Marathon. It's like, what the hell did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Great to see
skinny
you.
fat. Skinny
yeah,
fat.
I know.
So
I said it to you a couple of years ago. I need the Jay Civetti diet here. First things first, this clinic is awesome, man.
Love
it is a staple on the New England clinic scene. Just like myself, you've been coming here for years. Talk about Keith, Terry, Kyle, the job they do with the clinic.
Yeah, I told Keith. So, graduate fraternity in '01. Started coaching at Milton High. Came down here with John Reardon. And
We've worked with John.
Yeah,
he's still coaching. Marshfield.
I love it. The first clinic I ever came to, Liam Cohen's dad was speaking about wing tee football, and he and another guy who was the special teams coordinator at Maryland, Ray Ryszlewski. I'm going to butcher his last name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Those two guys were the reason that I got into college coaching.
That's awesome.
And wanted to be a football, and was planning to go sell IT software, and then
You're smarter than me. I got into education.
Well, hey, but yeah, this clinic's unbelievable. Keith does a great job.
He does.
The people that he gets to come speak here, I think are top notch. Everybody wants to be here.
Yep.
Typically with these clinics, it's not always the thing. I think the hospitality and
it's not an easy time of the year either, right? Because you're going into spring
go ahead into spring
There's
football.
a lot going
coming out
on.
of recruiting, and
even for the NFL guys, you got the pro days, the draft. So for the fact that guys like Bill Belichick, Liam Cohen last night, the fact that they're willing to come down here and speak, it speaks volumes to Keith, Terry, and the guys here and what they do.
Yeah, they really do a fantastic job. It's really an honor to be able to speak at it, but also just a great experience for me personally and the staff. Connect with high school coaches from all over New England, see old friends obviously, and just be able to hang out and talk ball. It's a really great.
It is. Let's talk some Tufts football. Sure. Obviously, you guys playing in the NESCAC. Just some thoughts on last season, how last season went, and talk about the changes in college football and how you see them affecting the Division III level.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was. Wes won the league last year. Us and Trinity tied for second. So, it was a very competitive league. I think one of the things in the NESCAC that you've seen over the last 5 years is just the competitive nature week in and week out. Right. Matt Coyne just walked by. The job he's doing at Bates. Obviously you got a guy like Jack Cosgrove at Colby.
And Jack's been around forever.
And Doug hasn't missed a step at Middlebury, taking over for Ritt, and just like go down the list. It's an incredibly competitive league, and to your question about how the football landscape has changed, has affected the NESCAC, is I think just the quality of players that we're getting continues to increase. I think that trickle-down effect because of the portal. There's more high school kids available for NESCAC recruiting.
Which I think gets lost on people, Jay, is that you're going to have kids, like in your case, you're comparable to the Ivy League from an education standpoint.
Right.
So, to your point, those kids are being missed on now because of the portal and teams dipping into the portal. It creates an opportunity where you get in some high-end talent.
Yeah, and I think the other component for us that we're really fortunate to have is the amount of two-sport kids that we're able to bring in with that new availability of these kids. So, we had 7 kids on the national championship lacrosse team. I got 5 kids playing baseball. I got 2 kids playing hoop. That to me is an added benefit in our cell, aside from obviously location and education. It's and competitive nature of the league. It's now also saying, hey, you can come here and be a 2-sport kid and compete at the highest level with all the other things that Tufts brings in. So, I think the last component of NESCAC conversation that's important to bring up is just the job that these kids are doing in trying to get us to the playoffs, and trying to get really the kids to the playoffs. The NESCAC football players are the only student athletes in the country that don't have access to be able to go play in the NCAAs. And over the years as coaches, we've tried, but ultimately, this is a player-driven initiative right now. And I've been really impressed just how presidents and ADs are interacting with these kids. The Student Athletic Advisory Committee in our league is doing a great job, and hopefully that's another big change that we see coming, giving us an opportunity to compete.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because obviously it's happening in the Ivy League, and I've been saying it for years, Jay. It's long overdue. Ivy League, NESCAC, it's long overdue. To your point, at the Ivy League level, it was driven by the student body. You mentioned the players and their desire to play in the playoffs, which they should. I mean, I've always felt, look, I get the academic piece and the importance of academics, but the idea that, okay, you're playing for a conference or league championship and that's it, that's never really resonated with me. I feel that there's more out there for these student athletes. Is that support there in your opinion? Not so much just at Tufts, but in general. Is that support there in your opinion from a student body administrative?
Yeah, certainly the other varsity athletes are supportive of the football teams having an opportunity to go compete, right? I think the administration, took us a long time just to get 9 games, but now we got 9 games. We got spring football, and this NCAA piece will be the final part to just make us like everyone else. I mean, that's all.
And how much will that help? Will that help in recruiting?
A big time. I mean, I think for all of us, we get into that conversation when we're recruiting against Hopkins, Chicago, Case Western, WashU, those kids that are like, hey, coach, I want to be able to compete for a national championship. That's why I'm going to this league or going to somewhere else. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. There's obviously costs that are involved in it. There's a lot of moving pieces that we have to, as a league, be mindful of. Sure, as a football coach and a football player, yeah, let's go, let's do it. I've been around long enough in the league to know that it just doesn't happen that quickly. But yes, I've been encouraged by the response from the other athletic directors and from league presidents, at least willing to have the conversation.
A couple questions here for you. Obviously, you mentioned you guys tied for second in the NESCAC last year. Now you have an opportunity to move forward and take that next step. So what's next? We're on to 2025.
Sure.
Let's start with the spring ball and move forward. What's next in this program? What do you think you need to do to take that next step?
Yeah, no, it's what keeps me up at night, and it's what doesn't let me sleep in the morning. I'm going on my 15th year as the head coach at Tufts. As you know, when we first took over, we couldn't win a rocks, paper, scissors, shoot tournament. So it's been a great path of ending the longest losing streak in the nation at one point, to being in a place where you finish second, you're 7-2. You're grateful for that, but you're still frustrated that you didn't win. It comes down to little things. It comes down to obviously continuing to have access to recruit the best players around. I think continuity in the staff's been a really important part of this. And a lot of it, when you're talking about the margin of error in the NESCAC, you just need the ball to bounce your way every once in a while. So luck's a huge part of it, I will say. But just having as much access to the kids as you can. Now with spring football, developing young talent. We are graduating arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the history of the league, Mike Paludi from Xaverian, 4-year starter for us. So that'll be a big area of emphasis this spring. Got some really competitive kids in that position. I'm looking forward to seeing who owns it, who takes it over.
And finally, just for our viewers out there, just some key dates any information that you can share in regards to key dates from a recruiting standpoint, camp standpoint.
Sure. Yeah. Selfishly, we're lucky enough, as you and Pap are good buddies. We get to host the New England Elite.
I'm a full Greek, he's a half Greek. That's close enough. It's close enough. Greeks and Italians.
He'll like this interview now because we said that.
Well, he's got the right combination. Half Greek, half Italian. You're Italian, I'm Greek. We all get along.
And he's a grandfather now, so he's all smiles. So,
he was already happy. He's even happy now. Now it's more than just about eating and coaching football. Now he has something.
Now he's got to right. Yeah. We'll be hosting New England Elite in the second last week of June at Tufts. Always a great opportunity to get on our campus and to get seen by a lot of coaches. For us, we're having spring football starting the last week of March. We're going every Tuesday and Friday, 7 a.m. Everybody's welcome. So not reinventing the wheel there, just trying to get better. But I would say those 2 dates for us specifically are important, and really looking forward to getting on the road, meeting a lot of new high school players coming up, and would love to see you at Tufts campus for New England League campus.
All right. Well, Jay, I want to say thank you for stopping by,
Great.
my friend.
Thank you.
I know
Appreciate
you're
it.
going to go. You got to speak.
Yeah.
Great to see you. And as
Appreciate
always,
it.
if there's anything we can ever do,
You
give
do
us
an
a
awesome
shout.
job. I'm grateful that what you do for New England football.
Appreciate it,
It's
brother.
really an important thing. So.
That's Jay Civetti.